Welcome to Wealth Made Simple with Shaz, where you'll learn how to master your money through business, property, and tax-saving strategies. Your host has collectively helped his clients make tens of millions of pounds in additional profits through these strategic approaches to business. Introducing Shaz Nawaz, an award-winning chartered accountant, property tax expert, entrepreneur, and property investor.
This week on Wealth Made Simple, we are going to be discussing AI. And I've got a massive passion for this subject. I love this subject.
You hide it well.
I know, I really do. And we've been utilising AI within our business. And last week, during the show, I both of the scripts that I had for last week were written specifically by AI, just to demonstrate, for the purposes of this show, how good they can be. Now, I did sense check them before, bring them to air, because AI is not perfect. It's not a replacement for people, but did a pretty good job. And I managed to get through, the entire show on AI scripts, knowledge, AI prompts.
And here, everybody was thinking, how clever is Kieron? He knows all this stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah. But that was the purpose of last week's show, was to demonstrate where it's going, how it's integrating itself into aspects of people's lives. Now, I think to start off with, we should cover what is AI. Because a lot of people have, this idea in their head that, you've seen all the films, Terminator, iRobot, Skynet, and all the rest of it.
You've got too much time on your hands.
Clearly. And, the HAL 9000. There's so many sci-fi iterations of AI that...
I stopped at E.T.
That's extraterrestrial, not...
It's kind of sci-fi, isn't it? In my world.
Yeah.
My sci-fi world is smaller than your sci-fi world.
Yes, this is true. But so we've got this preconceived idea that AI is the robots that are going to take over. And
they are, aren't they?
Maybe one day. But we are so far away from that. And I don't think people understand just how far away from that we are. So I'm just going to run through a few concepts of different types of AI and what they can do, their general overview of them. And I'm going to start at the most advanced that we've ever thought about and come backwards. And then I'll tell you where we are at right now. And it might give you an idea into...
So you're going to go to infinity and beyond and then come back?
Yep, that's the idea.
To the future. Okay, let's do it.
So the first AI I'm going to talk about is artificial superintelligence with objectives. And this is an AI system that possesses superintelligence, but also has explicit objectives and goals set by the creators. Now, this is what we will probably be trying to work towards, so that it's constrained in place within rules and guidelines, so that you don't have rampant AI. The benefits of this form of AI are similar to those of basic superintelligent AI, but it's more controllable, it's got more directed behavior and more predefined objectives. We're going to have to be very careful about what objectives we give and how those objectives can be interpreted, because we as human beings are not super intelligent. We are intelligent and we are the intelligent life form on this planet, but we as a species are not super intelligent. So ASI, superintelligent, artificial superintelligence, is going to be a magnitude higher in intelligence than we are. So its interpretation is going to be vastly different to something that we currently understand.
Different ability, yeah.
Yeah, massively. And that's the thing. So That's the highest thing that we're trying to achieve with AI. Now, alongside that, there is your generic artificial superintelligence, and at its core, artificial superintelligence is AI that surpasses human intelligence in every aspect, every single aspect: creativity, problem solving, self-awareness, development, learning, every single aspect that you can think of. And the potential benefits of a super AI are immeasurable. It can solve world problems the way that we solve a child's problems. It's that much of
at a different speed and a different density and everything.
Yeah, it will advance scientific research at an unprecedented rate. It will solve problems that we've been having. It will elevate our understanding of the universe. It will revolutionize society. And these are just the fringe benefits. And
you make it sound so exciting.
It really, really is. But, there are existential risks when it comes to superintelligence. Superintelligence will be able to outsmart humans. It will be able to outmaneuver us. If we've got everything being controlled by computers and everything else is digitized, everything else is roboticized, all our factories are using, robots to build cars, for example. It's all connected to the internet. It all becomes part of this superintelligence. We then become beholden to it unless there are those constraints that I mentioned earlier in place. Otherwise, it's got complete global control. And that in and of itself is what terrifies a lot of people. But that's superintelligence. That's a long, long way away. Going down a grade, you've got artificial broad generalization. And a broad generalization is an AI that can generalize across a wide range of tasks, but it's not truly conscious or self-aware. But it can help with advanced robotic systems. It can perform various complex tasks in controlled environments, but it's not outsmarting us. So it's, and we're not there yet. We're nowhere close, by my understanding. And then, that can help. A broad general AI will help with handling tasks and potentially give us improvements in automation or productivity, autonomously. It'll do that by itself. It'll just reiterate processes, improve, refine, but it won't get creative per se. Then you've got narrow generalized AI, which it can it's an AI that can generalize its capabilities across multiple related tasks, but it doesn't have the broad cognitive abilities of a human. And that's, but it's very, very good at its singular focus task. And
it's more niche.
Yeah, absolutely. Then you've got strong AI. Strong AI is the next level up, or next level down, but next level up from where we are at. And strong AIs refers to AI systems that possess human-like cognitive abilities. It enables them to learn, to understand, to apply knowledge across a wide range of tasks that essentially mimics human-like intelligence. And artificial narrow generalizations and artificial broad generalizations are kind of a similar level. So that they're all kind of close around the same sphere. Mm-hmm. This level of AI currently doesn't exist. We don't have human level intelligence AI yet. If it is successfully developed, industries that require long amounts of research, problem solving, all of these sorts of things, the computer requires power. The algorithm requires power, but it doesn't call in sick. It doesn't take a day off. It can just sit and compute day in, day out. and it will just increase overall in every industry the efficiencies within our workplaces and, jobs. Now, there are ethical concerns about creating machines in general with human-like intelligence. People cite the loss of jobs to automation. They cite...
That happens a lot, doesn't it? That conversation.
Yeah, that conversation happens a lot. And we will touch on that conversation during this. There is the potential that once you've created human-like intelligence, you've added that creativity to it, that learning ability, and then you've given it access to the internet. The thing that will define and allow it to evolve so much faster than human beings can, and it could lead to super intelligence a lot faster than we anticipated, is the storage of information. You have a finite amount of information you can store in your brain at any one time that you have access to. A supercomputer, we have supercomputers now that have petabytes and petabytes and petabytes of storage.
Data rooms and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And you've also got, if you've got a single computer that has, imagine plugging your brain directly into the internet and having access to all the information of the internet at your fingertips at all times. You wouldn't just be human anymore. You'd be more than...
But it's a speed, isn't it?
Yeah. Your speed of processing, your speed of ideas, your speed of...
Collecting
information and
reproducing.
It grows exponentially, and it grows very, very quickly. That's one of the biggest risks that people look at when they're looking at human-level intelligence AI, is plugging it into the internet and giving it access to all that information at once. And how quickly could it evolve itself into superintelligence and, the problems therein. So there needs to be controls in place. And we do look at, whether or not there are... But, again, that level of AI currently does not exist. Doesn't. Sorry.
Or if it does, it's not known to us.
No, it doesn't.
No.
And the reason we know it doesn't is now we get to narrow AI. Narrow AI refers to AI systems that are designed and trained on a specific task for a limited range of tasks. And these systems are highly specialized and cannot perform beyond their predefined scope. That's where we're at. That's what we have. ChatGPT, which is the one that everyone's heard of, Bard, all the DALL-E, which is the image generation. All of these AIs are learning models. They are narrow AI. They are weak AI. They're not true, conscious, human-level sophisticated AI. They're just not. And we don't know how long it will take us to get there, but we are at the very fringes of this. So, voice assistants, Siri, Alexa, things like that, they are narrow AI. Spam filters, narrow AI. You'd be amazed at how long narrow AI has been around. But now that we've got language learning models, it's suddenly come to everyone's the forefront again. But this sort of narrow AI has been around for many, many years. It's been playing chess. It's been playing Go. Is it Go?
I have no idea.
I think it is. It's an old game. It's been doing all those sorts of things. That's narrow AI. And, it's not intuitive. It's not talking to you. It's just understanding your words and converting it.
And processing and giving back whatever prompt you've given it.
A chess AI can analyze any move you make in chess and respond accordingly in a way that will generate a victory for it. Can't play checkers. It'll lose every game of checkers you put it against. Because it's got a very, very focus.
That's right, yeah.
But this sort of AI, now that it's becoming more mainstream, is very, very proficient at performing the specific tasks that you give it, that you program it for. But it cannot adapt to new tasks outside of its original design. And it also suffers from potential bias if the training data is not diverse or representative, and as has been demonstrated with ChatGPT, if you feed it bad prose, bad input, it gives you bad results.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, so that's a general overview of the different levels of AI. There's a lot to get through there. And we are at that very, very first level. We are at narrow AI, which is crazy when you think.
And exciting.
Incredibly exciting.
What the future holds, yeah.
Yeah. The future holds a complete, idea of growth around all of this, and that it will just continue to grow. So, but you need to understand the fundamentals of AI before you can have a true discussion about AI.
Yeah.
Because there's no point coming into this and going, oh yeah, but when are the computers taking over? Yeah. Always say please and thank you to your smart devices.
Yeah.
Because when the inevitable revolution does happen, no, I'm joking.
Yeah.
But that's AI in a nutshell. And I'm not a computer analyst. I'm not an AI expert. I'm an AI enthusiast.
Yeah.
And there are people out there who dedicate their lives into this sort of thing, and they could explain it far better than I can. And there's a lot more nuance and a lot more depth to it than I've presented here. But
it's a starting point. Yeah.
It's a starting point. Yeah. So now, what do you use AI for?
But what does it mean to us? Yeah.
Yeah. What does it mean to us?
Yeah.
How's it gonna grow and change? I mean, how do you see AI?
I think it's a massive opportunity. It's gonna, because a lot of time, if you're looking to do something, you spend a lot of time researching. Even if you know a particular topic, you're still going to research to see if there's any changes, updates, a new angle, a different way you can present a particular concept, and that takes a lot of time to do. AI, with what we have at the moment, whether it's ChatGPT, Bard, or something else, reduces that time. Of course, you then got to look at it and make sure it's correct, authentic, right, accurate, factually correct. But if you know your subject matter, you can quickly kind of get through that. Unless you're introducing something new, in which case I'd say do the research yourself first, and then obviously go to ChatGPT or any of the other platforms to try and get the information and then compare notes. So I think it's phenomenal. My concern always, as you know, Kieron, with this stuff, and it's going to improve, is I think it will dumb down people, because a lot of people will have this lazy approach. Mm-hmm. Okay, I want some article on this or blog or whatever it is, and then they put some prompts in which might not be entirely what they're looking for, and then they get something out there and they're sending the information out, and they're an influencer or a small influencer, or they've got followers, and people read that, believe that, and they're just going off on a tangent. It to some extent it reduces people's ability to think independently. I mean, there's answers for all these pros and cons, but I'm just saying, and then I think the fact there are two other things in terms of humans. One is the emotion side, and sharing those emotions, and the other one linked to that is connectivity, human to human, talking to each other, having that emotional connection, that human connection, and AI will probably have that at some point, but I think at the moment it lacks it. But it doesn't just lack it. I think it, in a way, it's going to be sad if people lose that connection somehow, and just rely totally on the internet or other means of communicating with each other, and not using that one-to-one or one-to-many situation. So, but it's a fantastic tool, as you said. I mean, we've already adopted it a while back, and we're always looking at changes, improvements, what's out there. And some of the stuff, even right now, as you know, is mind-blowing. And as you said, we're just at the tip of the iceberg. Do you know what I mean? It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, something I want to touch on that you briefly said a second ago was sense checking and making sure that knowing what you know is correct as per whatever prompt you've put in. And the reason I bring that up is there was a story in the news, and I was listening to this, so I don't quote me on this. The details might be a little bit wrong, but the general idea is that AI.
If it's the news, then it must be true.
AI can. It has a phenomenon that it does, which is referred to as hallucinating. And what that is when you ask it to cite references, it makes them up. And a lawyer, I believe in America, had his either intern or associate or junior create a document for him to go to court with, and rather than doing the research and
He relied on it, did he?
well, rather than doing the research himself, the intern put it into ChatGPT or a large language learning model, and it spat out a full dossier of the defense or whatever it was at the time, and cited legal precedents and stuff, as they do,
To build the argument in the case, yeah.
to build the argument in the case. And it turned out that they'd used real judges' names, real people, some events, but it had cross-pollinated some things and created some stuff up. And this is called hallucinations within AI. But the main lawyer himself didn't check any of this. He just assumed that his intern had done his due diligence. So he took the file, took it to court, and it was only during the court proceedings that they found out that it was all false.
Oops.
Yeah. Yeah. That sort of thing. Yeah. If you don't know your subject matter, you cannot rely on AI to do it for you, I think is what that proves.
And partly, if you don't know your subject matter, you shouldn't be talking about it to some extent, if you know what I mean, especially if you're sharing information, just having a one-to-one conversation, different thing where you're sharing opinions and learning or whatever else. But if you're out there sharing information, then you ought to know about it, in my view. I mean, sometimes you talk about, we're not AI experts, as you know.
No.
But we made that very clear, and we share things about wealth made simple and all the different opportunities. And this is an opportunity to work towards wealth.
Yes.
Okay, and productivity, efficiency, effectiveness, all that kind of stuff. So it's a broad range of topics we talk about. But the overall topic we know a lot about. We have the credibility and the expertise to talk about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly that. And that's the thing with...
And that's what's partly dangerous, but the point I was making earlier is anybody will talk about everything, and then it all gets mixed up, mashed up, and then there's people out there who kind of believe that because if Kieron talks about investing, and he seems to know plenty about it, and he's talking sense, and now he's talking about something else, some other topic, okay, then therefore they transfer that expertise. He must know about this too.
Yeah.
Now let's ask him about that, whatever that might be, okay? And then you're soon talking about that, which is, as we've talked about before, is someone says to you, I don't get on with my husband or wife or my spouse or my partner. Can you advise me?
Yeah.
Well, Kieran's been divorced 18 times. He's the worst guy to be advising you because he can't hold down a relationship.
Well, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But how people connect stuff,
People connect it in... And that goes back to an episode we did before on biases and generalizations and how people connect. You're an expert in this field, so I'm going to ask you about this. Oh, that was sound advice. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to ask you about this as well.
But although if you've been divorced 18 times, you'll have some good advice on what not to do.
Well, yeah. Thankfully, I have not been divorced that many times, or at all, in fact.
No, you haven't, no.
But the point is still the same. And that's the other thing with all of these large language learning models. You can put in a prompt and it will spit out whatever it is it's spitting out about, whether it's code, whether it's formula, whether it's, prose, whether it's copy, whatever it is that you've asked it for. Unless you know that subject matter, you need to have done your own research to make sure that it's correct and accurate and reflective of what it is that you're trying to get across, because otherwise you end up in the position this lawyer was in where egg on his face, go into court with a file full of cited cases,
which wasn't relevant. Or accurate to that
just
particular
doesn't exist.
scenario,
Just don't exist.
Yeah.
And that in and of itself is one of the flaws with narrow AI and also, most of the narrow AIs that we come into contact with as consumers at the moment are not up to date in terms of modern. They're only fed data up to 2021.
Yeah.
So
It's not
anything
up
that's
yet. It's not
anything that's
current,
changed in the
yeah.
last 2 years, it doesn't know about. So you can't ask it about that sort of stuff.
Thanks for listening to Wealth Made Simple. You can follow and contact Shaz on the Facebook pages Entrust Property Tax and The Profits Wizard. You can also find Shaz on LinkedIn, YouTube and Instagram. Alternatively, email him at shaz@aa-accountants.co.uk. Build your wealth by mastering money.